right, we got the new unveil of the Piggy Plinko UI. We ain't got no date yet. So don't say, well, he didn't say when it's gonna come out. Well, we don't have a date yet. But at least he is showing us the UI is done. It is finished. He showed us the Drip Web UI the other day. It's done and finished. So, we're going to have some buttons clicking between May and June. Something's clicking, okay? We're ready. But this game looked fun, though. And I like to play, I play predictions on Pancake Swap. And I like little games. And this one looked funner than predictions. So I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm ready to play that. So let's hear what he got to say.
Let me know if you can hear me and if you can see the UI. Loud and clear? Okay, good. All right, let's get started. So, if you guys want right now, you can go. I'm going to post the link in the actually, I just realized I'm on the test link. Let me get the main link and post it. But anyways, I can do this from here. Let me just ask the devs and see if it's and see if this is up on the main page. I think it is. Let me see. It is. Perfect. Okay. I'm gonna post the link, and I'm actually gonna change to the real site here as well. There we go. All right. Oh, good. Yeah, it's synced perfectly. All right. So, as you guys can see, and you can go yourself, the UI is completely built.
I can see.
There's a couple things that are obviously placeholders, right? Like the live stats. Of course, we can't show live stats, but everything can be interacted with now. So you can see as I go from low risk to medium risk, the distribution of the multipliers adjusts. So the large prizes become larger, and the smaller prizes essentially become smaller. So with low risk, essentially the way it works with the risk settings is a higher risk means that you have the larger prizes are larger, but the smaller prizes are smaller. And since you have a greater chance of hitting a smaller prize than a larger prize, it makes it so it's slightly higher risk. So it's your chances of having like a break-even bet are lower, but if you do win a large prize, it's going to be that much larger. So everything. Let me just close this. Governance is live. We're gonna remove this. I actually just told the front end dev to remove this now that we're promoting Piggy Plinko and not the governance system. So as you can see, you can choose between the amount of rows, right? So this allows you to adjust the amount of rows, and the more rows, the more prize tiers there are. So this allows you to create a strategy where you're determining how many prize tiers you want to play with and how you want to distribute risk across those prize tiers. And now you can choose the amount that you want to wager. So I can wager 200, 300, 400, 500, etc. And how many pucks you want to distribute that wager across. So if I want to do 5 pucks and 100 BUSD wager, then it's going to bet 100 BUSD per puck, right? And now, as you can see, you can choose what asset you want to wager. So you can choose BUSD, BNB, AFP, AFD. You can choose which live stats you want to pull from. And this shows, currently right now, since it's not showing live data, right? It's a placeholder. We're showing 24 hours, but you can choose the time frame at which you want to pull that live data from. If you scroll down, there's the history of your wagers, or you can go to all bets, and this will show you the history of everybody's wagers. And this way, you can verify on-chain that your wagers are fair and on-chain and are being handled correctly. And also, you can look at everybody else's wagers to make sure all of their wagers are going correctly. So that way, before you even play, you can go in all bets and look at all of the wagers that have taken place and verify that they're fair and legitimate before you ever get involved. And this goes all the way up to 16 rows. So when you have 16 rows, it goes, if you set 16 rows in high risk, it goes all the way up to 1000x, which means if you wager $10 and it lands on this prize, you're going to win $10,000. So this is competitive with Stake or any of the other platforms out there. In fact, Stake's highest price multiplier is 1000x, and we wanted to make sure that we were at least matching their highest price tier, because when a puck lands on this, it creates a major promotional event for anybody that's streaming where this wager occurs on. So as you can see, the highest price tier has this little rocket here. And this is something that I'll let you guys know about, right? Because you guys are investors, part owner. But we want it to be a surprise for when some of the people that are not as tied in come and play, or some of the influencers to get this on stream. So the way that our physics engine works is the balls drop, they drop down here, and then they land in a puck. But occasionally, if you win the highest prize tier, not always when you win the highest prize tier, but occasionally when you win the highest prize tier, the puck can go flying off the board. And when that happens, this multiplier, the reason why it's shaped like a rocket is because it can go shooting out and actually collect the puck when that happens. So it creates a surprise and an unpredictable event that will get great reactions that will be awesome for when we're making our promotional videos and influencers are making their promotional videos. But you see here how if I do low risk, the middle buckets are 0.6x. So that means if you land on this, if you bet $10 and you land on this, the outcome of the game is $6. So your $10 wager now just paid out $6. If it lands on 1x, then you just wagered $10 and you got back $10. If you land on 1.1x, you just wagered $10 and you're getting back $11. And that's how it goes up to here, 20x. So if you wager $10, you get back 200. Now, if I'm increasing the risk, now, as you can see, if you land on one of the middle ones, you're going to get back, you wager $10, you're going to win $3. So see the difference here? If you do low risk and you land in the middle, you wager $10, you get back $6. In medium risk, you land in the middle, you wager $10, you only get back $3. But the difference is, in low risk, yeah, if you wager $10 and you land in the middle, you get $6. But if you land in the highest prize tier, you make $200. Medium risk, you land in the middle, you wager $10, you get back $3. But if you land on the side, you're going to get back $900. So that's what I mean, where as you adjust the risk, you're adjusting the way that the prizes are being allocated, essentially, where you have a lower chance of winning your money back or winning a small prize, but if you do land on the higher prize, it's that much larger. So now, if you switch to dog mode, as you can see, I mean, it's just really clean, really fast. All of this is 100% in-code functioning. So, well, obviously, right, if you guys can go check it out yourself on the site. So it's going to be this fast and this clean when it goes live, completely live. And as you can see here, if I switch from the base mode to dog mode, the prizes all increase by 10%. So this 90% here, or it's not 90%, 90x here. I click the dog mode, 99x. So it's very clear that if you go to dog mode and you choose to take your prizes in AFD instead of BNB or BUSD, all of the prizes increase by 10%. And that is going to incentivize people that are coming on to wager BNB or BUSD to take their prizes in AFD. And the way that that order flow goes is that when they've done a wager and that wager hits a prize, the BUSD associated with that prize comes from the BUSD bankroll, but is swapped for AFD and then made available for them to claim. So it's taking BUSD from the BUSD bankroll and buying AFD with it, which is essentially taking people's funds that they're wagering in BNB and BUSD and purchasing AFD on their behalf and paying them an AFD. So it creates a cash flow to support AFD. Now, this is really cool, guys. This is, as you can see here, we have controls. So this is a way to bring up the tutorial. So let me just switch to, not that it matters, but let me switch to pig mode or base mode and just go through some of these, right? So controls quick guide. This guide is designed to help you understand the various buttons and controls on the game control panel, as well as provide an overview of the game user interface. So you click here. Players placing bets with BNB or BUSD earn a 10% payout increase if they choose to have their prizes paid out in AFD. So that just explains dog mode. Risk factor. The risk factor, low, medium, and high, is applied to modify the multipliers of each bucket at the bottom of the board. Increasing the risk factor allows players to access larger rewards. Set Plinko size. The Plinko size is used to adjust how many rows and buckets there are in the pegboard. Players can adjust the Plinko size between 8 to 16 rows as desired. And it's another way of essentially adjusting risk. And essentially, if you have a smaller amount of rows and you're wagering across a smaller amount of pucks, the risk variance that you're taking on is higher because you could land on 0.3 or you could land on 13x or anywhere in between, but whatever that one puck lands on is what you get. Whereas you could say, I want to do 10 pucks, so you're spreading, in this case, this 500 AFD wager across 10 pucks, so it will be 50 AFD per puck drop, And if you do, say, 14 rows, now you're going to spread your risk out across a bunch of pucks and a bunch of different outcomes. So you're going to see basically a smoother distribution of wagered versus profit. So let me just keep going. Oh, actually, let me keep going with this. Choose the token and set the wager. So players can place a bet in Piggy Plinko with our 4 different tokens, AFD, AFP, BUSD, or BNB, and set the wager size. So the size of the bet. And you can choose the amount of pucks you want to spread that across. Max wager. So what this is, we have something called a Kelly criterion. So it's a calculation which was designed early in the options trading days to allow for an edge to be maximized. And it allows for an edge to be maximized by choosing the position size that you should use per bet or per trade. And we're utilizing this technology to decide what the max wager should be based on the bankroll size to ensure that we don't allow for a max bet that is outside of the risk tolerance we can take in the game. So say we have $1 million in the bankroll. It doesn't allow us, it doesn't make sense for us to allow someone to make $1 million bet, right? Because they make $1 million bet, they win 2x, and we don't even have the money in the bankroll to pay them out. It doesn't even make sense to do. So even if we had, say, even if 2x was the highest multiplier, and we had $1 million in the bankroll, it wouldn't make sense for us to allow someone to do a $500,000 bet, even if we had enough money to pay them out if they landed on the highest multiplier. We need a max wager size relative to our bankroll to ensure the sustainability of our bankroll, and that no matter what size bet we're allowing, it's always within a range that allows our edge to play out over time. So, one way to describe it is, if I had a dice, and I roll the dice, and there's a 1 in 6 chance of me landing on 1, let's say, and I wanted to make a wager based on this 1 in 6 odds, I would not be smart to essentially make a guarantee that it will land on my choice in so let's say I want to make a bet that a dice will land on 1. So there's 1 in 6 chances that the dice will land in 1. But if I only roll the dice once, it can land on any of them. And if I only roll the dice 6 times, then it could land on 5 3 times, it could land on 6 twice, it could land on 3 once. You need to have enough iterations of the game to play out in order to see that 1 in 6 odds actually be realized. So let's just say I have let's say I have a 60% edge. So I get a 60% edge. So there's a coin. Let's just say there's a coin, and there's a 60% chance the coin will land on heads. If I now do a flip it could land on either side, and there's really it's about 50. In this case, it's a coin, so it's a binary outcome. It could land on either side. I could hit heads 10 times in a row. I could hit heads 8 times in a row, right? But if there's a 60% chance of it landing on heads, and I flip it 10,000 times, then we'll see the outcome be very close to 60%. So we need to have a max wager that allows us to have enough wagers take place to allow our edge to play out and not have some freak chance happen and now we've lost a ton of our bankroll because some freak string of outcomes happened and we allowed for wagers to be too large, and now that one freak string of wagers ate up our whole bankroll. So the calculation, the Kelly criterion, which is the calculation we're using, is designed to choose a wager size or a trade size that will allow our edge to play out, and we're choosing that value to set our max. So no one can ever bet a high enough amount to basically offset our bankroll in a way where we're no longer able to sustain the games. And this updates every single wager. So that's just a little bit behind the scenes. Of course, the user doesn't need to think about this. It's something that basically all casinos and all casinos that are not rigged, right? There's a lot of online casinos that are rigged, and they don't have to worry about these things because they're rigging the games. But everybody that's offering a fair game needs to consider these things, such as what is our bankroll, what is our edge, what is the max bet that we can allow that will result in our edge playing out over time to allow us to be sustainable. So that's what that's about. And this is, right now it's a placeholder. It's just set to 1 million. But when we go live, this will adjust based on what our bankroll is. And we've designed our system so our bankroll can continuously grow over time, and our max wagers can continuously grow over time. But we will seed the bankroll with significant capital, so our max wagers start off being nice and high. This is essentially, as I said, setting the number of pucks that you want the wager to be distributed across. Claim rewards. This is at the top. So you can choose what token you were wagering in. So if you were wagering with BUSD, then either you will have BUSD ready to claim, or if you play with BUSD in dog mode, you will have AFD available to claim. If you're not playing in dog mode and you play with BNB, you will switch to BNB, and that's how you'll claim your rewards, and so on. And now the VIP program. Piggy Plinko offers a second to none VIP program. As you level up through the program, your bonus and benefits will increase. So now let me go to the VIP. System. All right, so this is our VIP system, and this allows you to track your VIP status and your progress, and be able to claim your bonuses and see the benefits that you can earn based on your status. So if I go to progress here, you can see that it has a nice progress bar that shows what your status is and how close you are to reaching the next tier. It says, Piggy Plinko has an aggressive referral and affiliate marketing program that includes profit share from downline referrals, rakeback, and reload. Your progress is the sum accumulated through your wagers on Piggy Plinko, increasing the tier. Let me see if this is correct. We need to make a slight change to this text. So what it's supposed to say is, your progress is the sum of your wagers and the wagers of your referrals, and as your progress increases and you reach the next tier, your benefits also increase. I don't know why for some reason we just pushed the last update, and for some reason they changed the text back. But it's your progress is based on your wagers and the wagers of the people that you referred. So the way that works is, essentially, you get a different weighting for what you wagered relative to what the people you referred wagered. And this is a system that has downlines, similar to drip, which means if you refer somebody, you get a percentage of what they wager. When they refer somebody, you get a percentage of what they wager and what the person that they referred, and even the person that person referred. And I will go into that in the benefits. And the sum of what you wagered and what your downline wagered is what determines your progress. And the way that works is you get, let's say, 1 point or a 1x weighting for what you wagered, a 0.5x weighting for what your direct referral wagered, a 0.0. Let me see. I actually got it right here. It's something like this. It's something like you get a 1x weighting for what you wagered, a 0.5x weighting for what the person you referred wagered, and something like a 0.05 or something. It's in the documentation. Multiplier for what your third downline wagered. And what that means is essentially, if I wager $100, I get $100 worth of progress in my progress to the next status. If the person I referred wagered $100, then he gets essentially $100 worth of progress added to his status, and I get $50 worth of progress added to my status because there's a 0.5x weighting for any direct referral you made. So this does not mean you're earning half of what they wagered or anything like that.
I can refer
what it
people
means
to
is
Piggy Plinko.
essentially your XP points that you're earning. You're getting a full weighting for anything that you wagered to increase your XP points to your progress, and you're also benefiting from everything that your downline referrals wager. And the further downline, the less of an impact it has on your status. All right, so that's a simple way of understanding it. Now, we have all of this in a spreadsheet and in documentation, but we need a way just to make it very easy on people. So that's why it's just shown through this progress bar. But anybody that wants to review the documentation can really get into the details on how your referrals affect your progress as well. All right, now, so there's 10 different referral tiers, or VIP tiers, all the way from aluminum to platinum. So all users, so the part I said earlier, this is where the text was added. So it needs to be added to here as well. But anyways, all users will be able to share their referral link to start earning from their downline at launch. Players' accounts are based on a tier system. As users actively play and refer, they are increasing their score which will move them up to the next tier, unlocking higher rakeback, reload, and profit sharing benefits. So let's just see aluminum and what that is. So with aluminum, if you have an aluminum account, and an aluminum account means that either you have wagered $1,000 in the life of your account, or one of your direct referrals has wagered $2,000. So that's just what I mean by the weighting, right? So you could wager $500, and one of your downlines or your direct downline could wager $1,000. You're gonna get 1,000 points for that, basically, because for the 500 you wagered, you're getting 500 points, and for the 1,000 that your direct downline wagered, you're getting another 500 points for that, because it's a 0.5x weighting on the points that you get from your direct referral. All right, now if you have an aluminum account, which means effectively you or your referrals have wagered over $1,000 in the system, you will earn a 0.3% referral bonus from all of your direct referrals. So what that means is, if the house earns anything off your direct referral as an aluminum tier VIP status, you're making 3% of it. Now, if your direct referral refers somebody, you're going to make 0.2% on that downline. And if this downline refers anybody, you're going to make 0.05% off of them. So the reason why it's sustainable to have a system where you're getting paid
this is just so we can see how it looks.
A referral bonus for
When we click
3 levels of downlines is because
high risk,
this is
risk,
coming from
risk. So it doesn't look like you
revenue
really lose.
the house has earned. So it's not coming through inflation. It's not coming through a share of the prizes. It's only coming from a share of what the house has earned. So this way it is sustainable because we have done the math to ensure that even if all players were platinum and all players were self-referring, we can always turn a profit for the house. And that's important because as AFP stakers, the majority of that goes back to you through the profit share system. And then also, it ensures that we can always continue to grow the bankroll to pay out prizes and increase our max bet size. But again, our system has a 3% house edge. So, essentially, when the edge of the house is that small, basically, the outcomes will range so wide as far as coming on and winning, or or losing. It's not like when you come and play a game where there's only a 3% house edge. You can definitely come on and profit from it. And considering that right now, stake has about a 52% house edge. Anybody who has any will to play these games, or anybody that enjoys playing these games, would be crazy to play for stake or to play for any of the centralized competitors over ours, because stake and all of these other platforms have proven that their games are rigged. They've proven that the odds that they are that's in their documentation that they're basically displaying are not what they're actually providing to their user, and they're way off. They're off by a factor of more than 10. So anybody who's playing these games on any other platform would be foolish not to come over to ours. Because not only are you able to verify that the games are fair, you're also able to verify what your edge is and what the house's edge is, and know that you're playing a game where you can actually win, and you can win over time. Another big thing is that with stake, for example, you need to be an influencer to do referrals. If you set up a stake account, they don't give you a referral code. You need to apply for a referral code, and they will only give it to you if you're an influencer of a specific size. Where with our model, it's fair from a gameplay perspective, but also fair from a influencer referral perspective, where anybody can generate their own referral and start earning through referrals. And that's, that's how you want to do it, because, and the reason why stake can't do that is because stake is effectively ripping off their user base and their average user in order to pay their influencers these crazy rates. So they're basically stealing from the average user and using that to pay out huge amounts to influencers to get their audience to come on and get ripped off. And when you have a system like that, you can't let just anybody become a referrer because it's not sustainable. But with our system, we have designed it in a way where everybody can be a referrer and it's sustainable. So this is aluminum. So 3% on direct referrals you earn, 0.2% on one downline, and 0.05% on two downlines down. Now rake back. Rake back means anything that you lose to the house, you get back. So anything, if you're an aluminum tier account, which essentially means you've just wagered, aluminum tier is $1 worth of wagers to $1,000 worth of wagers. So if you come on and you wager anything, you get an aluminum tier, which means anything you wager and you lose to the house, you're going to get 1% of it back. And you're able to claim it here in Rakeback. So you come and you claim it as it builds up over time. Now, reload means this is a percent of everything that you wager. So if you wager $1,000, whether you won money or lost money, you're going to get 1% back. And that is collectible in reload. Now, reload is based on a flat percentage like this, 1%, plus a multiplier that's applied based on how much you've wagered over the past week. So if you wager a lot over the past week, then you can have a multiplier applied to this 1%. Now, as you increase your progress, so as you wager and as the people you referred wager and your progress moves up from tier to tier, so does the referrals that you're able to earn. So if you move from aluminum to bismuth, now you're earning 4% from your direct referrals, 0.3% from one downline, and 0.1% from two downlines. You're making a 2% rake back now. So effectively, you've doubled your rake back. And that means for every everything that you've wagered and lost to the house, you get 2% of it back. And now it's a 1% reload. But again, this reload, this 1% can have a multiplier applied to it based on what you've wagered in the past week. Copper, 4.5%, 0.4, 0.15, 3% rake back, and 1%. And this goes all the way up to platinum. And with platinum, you're making a 15% on directs. So that means any money that house makes from your direct referrals, you're earning 15% of it. That's massive. And that is way, way more competitive with what anything that's available on any of the centralized platforms. And that's because we're doing it the right way. And, you know, it's a model where the average user can come in and make huge profit through not only playing the games, but also through referring. 2% through one level of downlines and 0.8% through 2 levels down. And you might be thinking, well, that drops off pretty fast, but you have to remember this grows exponentially. So if you do 10 direct referrals and each direct referral does 3 referrals, that took no additional effort from you, but now you have 30 people in your level 1 downline. And then they refer, 2 people, and now you have 60 people down here. So it grows exponentially. So it's very, very possible that even though you're making 15% from your directs and only 0.8% from 2 levels down, that you could be making more from 2 levels down, especially if you come into it with a team standpoint and you're focused on doing directs first and foremost, but you're doing it in a way where you're encouraging them to build a team. And that can really grow your downlines exponentially. And people that have been involved with Drip know that. So when you are on platinum status, you're making a 10% rake back, which means anything that you lose to the house, you're getting 10% of that back, and any 2.5% reload, which means anything that you wager, you're getting a 2.5% bonus on it. Now, to collect your rake back, you just go here, you choose the asset, and you claim it. Same with reload. And profit share, this is where you claim your the profit you've made from downline referrals. This little box here tracks your live stats. So how many wins, how many losses, and it draws a nice little chart for you of your wins and losses. And then here is where you're tracking your wins and losses. Now, we also have a stop and limit dashboard, which will be part of the live launch effectively. And as you can see here, you can turn off the sound and access the white paper, but most of the info is right here in the control guides. But there is a cool little, not only like soundtrack, but also special effects or FX audio that you can turn off as well here through this gears. One thing, or I would say 2 things that will be changing for the live version is pig mode will have 2 triangles here instead of regular pegs. And what these triangles will do is increase the chances that the pigs fall to the outside. So they'll increase the chances that larger prizes are won in pig mode. And then dog mode, which is already done, increases the prize sizes across the board. But I hope you guys like the UI. We put a ton of work into it. It's competitive, and I think a better UI than what any of the centralized models are allowing for. There's nothing like it in DeFi, especially when you talk about the way that we've made the way that we're bundling the VRF calls and done the actual tech behind this in a way that no one has done to make it so right now, between the time that you drop the pucks to the time that they land in the bucket, it's about 6 seconds. And the way that we've done our bundling, no user is ever waiting more than 6 seconds to get the outcome of their game, which means that there's no wait time here. There's no lag time here to do it on chain. So the experience that you would get in a centralized platform like Stake, where you have to wait 6 seconds for the pucks to drop anyways, is how long it takes for us to do it on chain now, because of the way that we're bundling VRF calls together. So one VRF call can service thousands of users, and we can do a new VRF call basically every other block. So there's essentially blocks get confirmed about every 3 seconds, 3 to 4 seconds on BSC, and then you have to wait. So you need to do one block to confirm the wager in which the VRF call is made, and then one block for that VRF call to get returned. And we're bundling all wagers that take place between one VRF call is made to when one return. So no user is waiting longer than one block for the outcome of their game. And it takes about 6 seconds for the puck to drop. So there's no downtime there between the gameplay and the outcomes of the game. And of course, you could choose to have up to 50 pucks drop at one time. So in that case, you're experiencing about, about 35 seconds worth of gameplay. And that's with basically one transaction, 35 seconds worth of gameplay, where it only takes us about 4 to 6 seconds or less to get the outcome of the game. Because if you were to do a wager, so say someone does a wager, that triggers a VRF call, and now 4 seconds later, you do a wager. Well, the VRF call that was made is only about a second away from being returned. So in that case, it's only a second that you're waiting. So we've made it efficient enough that the longest anybody's waiting is 6 seconds, but the average person will be waiting much less. And the gameplay takes 6 seconds to play out. So there's no lag, there's no downtime. And that was the goal. That's what we've been working on for months to be able to do. And of course, also we just wanted this great UI to really be something that that feels clean and is an actual game, and it's not a glorified staking contract or just a real low quality, low design like what you get with a lot of other DeFi games. And yeah, so that's that, guys. There's a couple small tweaks that we need to make, a couple of text tweets, but overall, this is the UI, and we're very confident in it that it's going to be something that the average user who's coming from outside of DeFi will feel comfortable with and will have a lot of fun with. Now, let me just wrap this up with talking about some of the other stuff that's going on. So tonight, I have a meeting with the bank. We have come to an agreement on the fiat on-ramp rate. So we've been playing a little bit hardball, trying to make sure we get the best rate. If you look at what MoonPay is charging right now, it's 8%. So if you want to, people go to the Telegram group and look at the screenshots that I showed, or just go to MoonPay yourself and try to swap from USD, fiat USD to BUSD on Binance Smart Chain. You're going to see that you get $92 back for every $100 that you try to purchase with. On Gardarian, for $100 worth of USD, you get 92.89 BUSD back. So that's a 7.9% fee. we have been able to negotiate and do a rate that is 20 to 30 times better than what any of the fiat on-ramps that support all chains are able to do. On top of that, we're not doing KYC. So all you need is an email to be able to do purchases under $2,000. So, of course, that gives a lot of flexibility and a lot of options for everybody. On top of that, we have come to an agreement with the Super Chat company. Effectively, I have bought out the number one third-party Super Chat company. I've effectively struck a deal with them where I will be buying them out. I will be hiring their development team, bringing on our own back-end crypto developer. And the only thing that is to figure out, to really put the final stamp on whether we're going to be doing this or not, is if we are able to collect the revenue that we're earning from credit and debit super chats in the form of crypto. That way, I can set it up in a way that is fully anonymous, that does not require us banking support to do payroll and these other things. Of course, we can automate it in a way where we can collect our fee and all of that from crypto super chats, but we need to be able to collect the revenue that we earn from credit and debit super chats as well. And the only way that we can do that in a way that is fully anonymous is if the bank that is doing the processing of these credit and debits are willing to then exchange the revenue for crypto and pay it out to us, to our company in crypto. And that allows us to essentially set up a company that has no need for a lot of the issues that would result in essentially de-anonymizing our team. So we'll be able to do it in a way where, that's the goal. The goal of the meeting tonight is to come to an agreement that will allow us to do it in a way that is fully decentralized, that does not rely on any companies or anything like that to be able to have the service. And the only centralized third party that we will be using is to process credit and debit super chats. But if we get the okay from the bank that we plan to be working with, which should allow us to do this, then we can accept the revenue that we're earning from that in crypto, and it's not a processor like Stripe or one of these processors that, wants to censor super chats and censor streamers and content creators. This is a bank that supports us, right? The same bank that we're doing our fiat on-ramp with, and they support a couple crypto exchanges. So they are not worried about activists or anything like that, which means that we can have a fully decentralized standard for crypto super chat donations, and also a censor-proof credit and debit option that is competitive with Stripe and blows YouTube and blows Twitch and these other platforms out of the water as far as what we're charging, because YouTube charges 30%, Twitch charges 50%, and our goal is to charge 15%, which is half of what YouTube charges, and something like 30% of what Twitch charges. And this is for super chats. So that's looking very good. We already have the developers on board to do it. We already have all the logic figured out for how we're going to do it. It's something that we can build relatively quickly. And now it's just about having a meeting with the bank tonight and moving forward on it if we can all come to terms. And also, this is the same bank with the fiat on ramp. So now that we've come to agreement on that, we should get the fiat on ramp up very quickly. Another thing with the fiat on ramp is we are working hard to get an even better rate. So it's going to be a constant negotiation with them to get a better rate, but we want to get it up. So we decided to go with the rate that we have now, which is 20 to 30% better than what anybody else is offering. And no KYC, which is not something you can get with MoonPay or Gardarian or any of these other platforms. And if we can hit volume goals, we can reduce the fee even more. And that's without reducing or renegotiating a base rate. But we're also working to renegotiate the base rate. So, again, this is another week where we're hitting a major development goal here. We're very close to being able to release the testnet on Piggy Plinko. We have 40 different influencers that we have established that are gaming influencers that we're in the process of setting quick 10-minute meetings with to be able to get them onboarded. Some of them will be onboarded for Piggy Plinko on Animal Farm. The majority of them will be onboarded when we do the full push for the other 5 games. So it'll be 6 games in total, including Piggy Plinko on the gaming site. And then our core Animal Farm devs are in the process of building out the V3 migration. And the V3 migration is not just us migrating to V3. We're creating a major new product that does not exist on BSC that allows us to actually utilize PancakeSwap V3 in a way that is optimized. So right now, when you choose where you want to add liquidity, at what range you want to add liquidity on PancakeSwap V3, that determines the amount of fees that you can collect, but it also determines the yield that you get in their farm. So if you choose on, let's say, a BNB BUSD pair to provide your liquidity within a 10% distance from the current price, then you'll make about 50% APR in fees and about 35% APR in the farm, right? Now, if you put it even closer, you're going to increase that fee APR and increase the farm APR. But the issue with that is the closer that you put that range to the price, the sooner and the more often the price will move outside of that range. And once the price has moved outside of that range, you're no longer earning on it. So we have created an algorithm that adjusts our stakers' range multiple times a day to ensure that it's in the range that's collecting the most possible fees and the highest possible rates in the farm. And that's going to take what we're earning right now in V2, which is like 8 to 11%, depending on the asset, and increase it to over 100%. Somewhere around, depending on the asset, 40 to 80% APR in fees, and then another 30 to 50% in the farm, or potentially even more in the farm, depending on the asset. And what our product is being built to do is take the fees that are earned and auto compound them into the user's position. So you will not only be earning, like the current model, AFD and then 8 to 11% in cake, which gets swapped for BUSD and paid out to the pig pen. No. Now you'll be earning AFD and an additional 50 to 80% APR in the assets that you're providing liquidity to, which will get auto compounded multiple times a day into your position, allowing you to earn compound interest in your principal while also earning AFD, and the amount of cake that we're generating through the lending to PancakeSwap is going to be 5 to 8x. So the BUSD that we're paying out to the Pigpen will also increase by somewhere around 5 to 8x. So this is a product in itself. Yield optimization on PancakeSwap, and there's nothing like it that exists currently. Every user that wants to add liquidity to PancakeSwap has to manually manage it. It's not easy to manage it within a range that is profitable, but also not going to be too close to the price, so it moves out. The algorithm that we've built to allow for this optimization is based on some of the analysis that I use in my automated trading system. So it's it's going to be extremely effective, and as PancakeSwap completely migrates over to V3, users are going to be looking for an option that basically manages their liquidity and their range, because the 90% of users are either going to choose to add liquidity with a unlimited range, in which case you earn effectively no yield and no fees, or they have to be manually managing it, where they're moving it and adjusting it every day, trying to keep it in a range where it's worthwhile, and no one wants to do that. And a lot of people don't have the skills to be able to do that. So our system automating that is massive. Another thing that we are considering until we get the single asset lending up is potentially shutting down the single asset pools and the emissions associated with them. And what that would do is effectively decrease the inflation rate of AFD by half. And not only would that increase the inflation rate of AFD in half, it would also mean that the only options that are available to earn AFD are generating a ton of revenue for AFP stakers, and it will allow the AFP and AFD token to perform at a lot greater, because the inflation rate will be reduced by half. And then potentially when we get the single asset lending option up, we would reinstate these single asset pools, but then they would be reinstated in a way that actually allows us to utilize that capital. Because right now, the single asset staking, we're not able to utilize any of that. So we're effectively inflating the supply of AFD, but not earning any revenue from being able to lend those single assets. And this is something that needs to be considered. We're not doing it now, so of course, earn the yield in the single assets now while you can. But making that adjustment would allow our native tokens to basically perform a lot better as far as price goes, and would limit the options, would limit the staking options to options that generate a ton of cake for us to be able to pay out to the Pigpen. So basically, it's more revenue going to the Pigpen and better price performance of our native assets, because we're reducing the inflation rate in half. So that's something that we're also considering, being part of the V3 migration. And then, of course, when we get the single asset lending product built, then we would reinstate the single assets, but it would be done in a way where the single assets are being paired on the back end to be able to earn yield. So Anyways, this is something that needs to be gone over with the DAO and potentially have a governance vote and all of that. So, we're making a ton of progress, guys. We plan on having the migration ready in a couple weeks. Same with the Piggy Plinko testnet, right? It's looking like we'll be able to have that essentially next week, the Piggy Plinko testnet. And there's a lot of other stuff going on behind the scenes. I'll know after tonight's meeting whether we're going to move forward on the super chat model. There's a lot of stuff that we're doing for the DAO, the website, and also a new product. So yeah, we're just we're going full steam ahead now, and it feels good. And we're about to make a ton of progress from a marketing perspective as well, because once we have the testnet up, we're about to shift our focus to gaming and all these gaming influencers that we have lined up, which there's about 40 of them right now. So it's exciting times, guys. What we're going to do is everything it takes to make sure AFD and AFP perform and are appreciating value, and the AFP stakers are earning the maximal amount of BUSD, and the stakers of our non-native token are getting maximal utility out of our products. And what that looks like now is liquidity range optimization. So it's exciting, guys. I'm gonna end the stream now, and I look forward to your feedback, and I hope you all are as excited about everything as me, and I hope you all appreciate the UI. As I said, there's a couple little tweaks that we'll be making to it. Some of them as soon as I get off the live stream, and some of them before it goes live. But as you can see, a lot of work was put into this, and I think the users are gonna love it. So I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you. Bye.
And that was a long one. An hour and 7 minutes. It'll take me forever to upload this one. But yeah, it looks wonderful. I love the way it looks. The graphics is great, you know, and when I'm looking at the bottom, look like you always gonna win. No, you ain't gonna always win. They do have losers. But it looks good. I play it. You know, I'll probably be playing under either probably B&B. You know, throw some B&B in there, because dogs' prices are low right now. If you go to the animal farm, which is here, I gotta widen out my screen and move it over or something. And if you go to the animal farm, which I don't have the whole screen on because that get wild. Right now, pig's price is 53, and dogs is 807 a dog. So the dog's prices is, I mean, they low right now to get some, but you can play with B&B and BUSD too. So that's a good thing, you know. So you don't have to worry about it. Because really and truly, I'm not even in Animal Farm as far as, I'm not in Animal Farm as far as doing the pigs and farms and the pools and stuff. My main thing is drip. It's their other thing. So basically, I'm in drip right now, and drip is my baby. And this is where we are. And this is compounding 1% a day, and it's been running for 2 years, okay? And we are just compounding 1% a day. Just waiting for the price to go up some more. So hopefully the price go up soon. Soon as the new website come out, because we getting a whole new website. We already previewed that. But this, right now, it's like 36 cents a drip. You know when I got in drip, you know how much drip was? Y'all gonna fall out. It was $70. Then it went all the way up $100 and something, like almost $200. I swear, I wish I had got in at the beginning. I missed that first run up for sure, but I'm here for the second one. Because right now, when I first started, all I could afford was 4 drip, and that was like $500 just for 4. Now I got 1.265 thousand, And I got 62 over here. I'm not going to compound this to it. I know what number I want to compound at, 81. So when this get to 81, I'm going to compound, because then I'll be getting 11 drip a day. So I compound when I'm getting like more drip a day. So right now I get 10 drip a day. So we got like 2 more days before we compound. 2 more days, and then we'll compound, and then we be at 80 plus. We added to that 1265, so we be 3 something here, and then we be getting 11 drip a day. And then I wait till we go to the next phase to get me 12 drip a day. That's the way I compound. Instead of compounding every day, I compound by the number. Since the price is not moving right now until the new website come out, and I know it's not going to move till the new website come out. So basically, I'm just doing mine like that. And the way I can find that out, I just go to the drip buy over here. I go over here to drip buy, and drip buy is connected to my wallet. So basically, I just go to the calculator, and I can see when, like, how many days it take me to move from 10. So right, I can see it was 8 days. Then I'd be at 11, and it would be at 81 drip. That's why I know it's 81. So that's how I know. So then after I get to 81, then we gonna see when we gonna move to 12. And that's when I compound. And when it's at 12, and I know that's, well, it won't be this 80. So this says 17. But we know when to compound. We know when we get to 12. We know. You know, because once I compound, this number starts over again anyway. So it probably be at like another 8 days before we get 12. And then, well, it might be less since it's going to be 11. It might be 7 days before we get, or 6. But anyway, it's getting smaller and smaller. So my goal right now, I'm trying to get like 20 drip a day. And if drip ever went back to $10, I'd be good. See that? If I put a 10 in here. If drip ever went back to 10, and then I have like, 1,500 drip. Let's put 1,500. We have 1,500 deposit drips in here. How much that is a day? $122 a day. That 1% a day. And I be getting 12 drip a day, and it'd be $10. I'd be happy with that. Shoot, if I can get $100 and something a day out of this, I'd be happy. Cause 100 times 7 days in a week is $700 a week. 700 times 4 is what? Look, 700 times 4. I ain't greedy. Just give me something. That's like $2,800 a month. That's my mortgage right there. I mean, not it's a little higher than my mortgage, but I'm just saying I can pay my mortgage with drip. So basically, let me get that $100 a day. Huh? What? What's he hollering for? That's my husband. He always knows when I'm on the video anyway. So let me go, because it's going to be a long upload. I have to leave my computer on, because I'm going to bed. Bye.